Hello family, welcome back to Divine Inspirations. Your girl Keene, Letsholo here. From time to time, our esteem gets to have a big hit on us and we usually feel like nothing, and therefore we have nothing to offer to others and to the world. If at all you can relate to what I'm talking about, then stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I've been thinking that since we are laying a foundation, what is the best place to start? And in as much as how tall or how high the building goes is determined or reliant on how strong the foundation is, I just thought that maybe we can talk about self-development, because everything really that has to do with life, everything in our lifestyles right now is reliant on either or not we develop ourselves. Self-development is a gradual development process of one's character. I'm talking about identifying the skills and the qualities you need to develop and be able to raise your level of confidence, which will eventually lead to a high quality lifestyle. Now, there are many philosophies surrounding the issue of self-development, and I just want us to focus on really three aspects, that is self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-actualization. So in this video, we'll be talking primarily about self-esteem. Self-esteem is the opinion you have about yourself, how you treat yourself, the attitude you have towards yourself. In psychology, it reflects the overall subjective emotional evaluation of who you are or of your worth as a person, and therefore it determines what you term success. So we know that sometimes we have like low self-esteem, at times we have positive esteem. These two, they do well within us. The question is, what really dominates your life? I mean, like, it's completely normal to feel down at times, but when you see the signs of low self-regard dominating your mind, then it's a sign that what dominates your mind really is negative self-esteem, which will eventually lead to esteem panic. So it's really important for us to really ensure that the positive one takes dominion and is really superior over the negative one. Now, I want us to talk about the signs of negative self-esteem. Like, how do I really know if I have low self-regard? I want us to look at comparison, comparing yourself excessively to others. I mean, like, it's not really wrong to compare yourself to people. I normally say when you compare yourself to someone or to other people, it should be a way of measuring your level of productivity. But if at all you're doing this more often and every time you do it, it's stealing peace from you, then it's a wrong thing to do. Don't compare yourself to someone, because as unique as you are, you have something to offer to the world. Find your niche and know what to do. The moment you start comparing yourself to others, it leads to this other signs of low self-esteem, which is negative self-talk. You start blaming yourself for things that happen to your life. You start blaming yourself for unproductivity. You start blaming yourself for the mess that's going on in your life. This is not good, because you're eventually gonna feed your mind with wrong things. You're gonna tell yourself that, you know what, I'm not good enough. You know what, I am ugly. You know what, I just don't have what it takes. I had this low self-esteem to a point where I don't know, like, it was a mess, because every single time my cousins and my friends and my classmates would be referring to me as dark. They'll be telling me how dark I was or how dark I am, and I would cry over this fact. Yes, I was dark, but the thing is, they made me believe that I was ugly. I remember one time there was this beauty contest thingy, and so I had to participate, and one of the teachers who was coordinating the whole thing, when I came over for like the competition, she was like, why are you here? I was like, I'm part of the contest. Then she was like, but you're so dark. Ouch. I know. In other words, she was like, you are just ugly, you can't be part of this thing. And therefore, over the years, I had to actually believe the lies they were telling, and eventually the lies became true. and I believed that I'm just a dark person, I'm ugly, until when I gave my life to Christ and I had to really see that I am born in God's image, that God made me in his own likeness. How can I actually be ugly? And therefore I started to see the beauty behind my dark skin. That's how I became to build my confidence. Today I just feel so beautiful, and people in appreciation and love would be like, oh, you're beautiful. So yeah, one thing you're likely to do when you have low self-regard is you wouldn't be satisfied with your physical appearance. Like there's the certain feature that I don't like about myself. I don't like the structure of my nose. I don't like my legs. I don't like the fact that I weigh this much. I don't like this about my body. That's a wrong mindset. He made you in a way that you would be the one to accomplish the purpose he intended for your life. So if you feel otherwise about your physical appearance and that something is wrong with you and something is wrong with your tummy, something is wrong with your legs, I mean, I'm not talking about being ignorant of the fact that we need to take care of ourselves. I'm talking about really worrying about things you don't have control over. Another thing would be accentuating the negative. Like every single time you see the negative in every single thing, that's a bad thing. That's low self-esteem. Another sign would be emotional turmoil. Like you are just a stressed person, you are just depressed, everything is not going right, like every single time something is wrong, every single time you are pointing at somebody, and every single time you are blaming something. We have to come to a point where we have charge over our lives and we take accountability for everything that happens in our lives. All these things that points to low self-esteem will eventually lead to devastating consequences. I'm talking about stress, depression, anxiety, loneliness, and at the end of the day, this thing gonna tear up your relationships. You have to take necessary steps to build positive self-esteem, because if you don't build it, there's no way, I don't see a way possible for you to actually achieve your dreams and your goals and your passions. Now, positive self-esteem calls for self-acceptance. You have a positive sense about who you are. You feel good about yourself. So self-acceptance finds its ground in the psychological literature as an imperative contributing factor to self-understanding. I'm not talking about ignoring your failures, but I'm talking about a state of mind where you are self-aware enough to actually not take your failures for fatal defects. You are so much aware of yourself that this is something that I need to work on, and you are busy working on it while you are keeping positive. Maybe in you building your self-confidence, you have to start talking positively towards yourself. Feed your mind with things that will make you feel good. Then you might as well stop comparing yourself to others, because the more you do it, it's gonna steal your joy. The more you do it, it's gonna steal your peace of mind. The only time you compare yourself to somebody, let it be the time when you measure your productivity to say, this is how I came, how am I doing? Maybe there are things that I need to improve. Maybe I need to implement certain strategies. Like, compare yourself when need be. Don't just compare yourself that somebody is just doing well in their own lane. Somebody is just doing well than me. That's wrong. You have to just focus, be in your own lane and focus on what matters in your life. I want you to do things that you're passionate about. When you do things that you're passionate about, you are more likely to think positively about yourself, and this thing gives you a sense of joy and a sense of fun and relaxation. Do things that you are passionate about. And I would like also for you to not strive for perfection. Perfection is just an illusion. You cannot do things 100%. Give yourself a room for failure. And every time you fail, learn and grow, because failure actually is not a step backward. failure is a step forward because you have learned a new way to do something, or you have figured out that doing this thing this way won't work, and therefore you need to change the strategies and change the way you tackle the issue. Don't just beat yourself up when you are facing a difficulty in actually reaching the goal you set. Maybe it will be wise enough to surround yourself with positive people. I'm talking about people who inspire you. The Bible says that bad company corrupts good behavior. If you're going to continue in that line with people who only see the negative in you, who don't see potential in you, who don't understand you, then you might as well cut them out of your life. They're just gonna take from you, they're gonna steal your joy, they're gonna steal your peace. That is what they're gonna do. They're going to crush your dream. So just make sure that the people you walk around with are people who give into your destiny. As you do the same, to their lives, they tend to feel good about themselves. Like, life shouldn't be a one-way street. It should be a two-way street in which I give you, you give me. So you need to feed them positively as well. And I want you to exercise, guys. When you exercise, it improves the state of your mind, especially your mood. Like, I exercise and I make sure that I follow my workout plan. If you exercise, you get to have this energy, and you just have a good mood to actually do whatever you have to do. And one thing we can actually talk about will be to concentrate on things you have control over. If you concentrate on things you don't have control over, then you are wasting your time, your energy, your resources, and your emotions and feelings, because I might as well stop worrying about something and do something that I have control over. Just stop, guys. Stop concentrating on things you don't have control over. Some things are just meant to happen. You just have to take it that way. Let it happen, and you move on with life. And one thing I like to do is to explore. I get to learn new things. I get to know myself more. There's this old saying that which is passed from generation to another, which says, know thyself. You have to know yourself enough to give yourself room for growth and expansion. Be open to new ideas, new relationships, new connections, and new opportunities. Explore, have fun. If at all what we spoke about isn't helpful enough to you, I suggest that you have somebody to work with. Maybe your best friend, maybe your mentor, maybe a pastor. Maybe you need to see a therapist. Like, there's people like that. God has invested wisdom in them for them to actually help us. See somebody who can walk with you through this journey called life. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. Our next video, you should be looking forward to self-confidence and self-actualization, because we are building. Before we can talk about wisdom, the anointing of God, everything else, we need to know our identity in God and in the world, for us to really play a better role in the world and to impart humanity. Please leave a comment in the comment section below stating the topics you are interested in us talking about, your questions, anything really. Just leave a comment, and please subscribe in order to be part of the Divine Inspiration family. Refer to a friend, and a friend will refer to a friend.
Refer to a friend, and a friend will refer to a friend. Oh, I got it right. You know what I mean.
Just refer somebody to this channel and let them subscribe and be part of the